very brightly colored and it's very loud, and it's fun for a while.
This is 1095.
Okay, but the $1 million question really is, I mean, you know, you wrote that teaser and then that went on, or trailer, which went on to make a movie. You know, how the fuck do you end up with Idris Elba in pretty much your first major movie? Because that takes some doing, and I'm assuming, you know, you're a guy that's pretty good at networking. You've got contact. How did you trip up on that opportunity? Was it tactical? You know,
no, it was like tactical. I wish I'd like to say there was. No, it was total luck. Really, is the fact that I left Rob Stone's and finished the script, and I thought, how could I get this out there? There's no point. I already knew from instinct. There's no point in me sending it to a casting agent or a producer saying, "There you go, I'm nobody." Still am. But how can I do it? So I'd been on another Bedford School connection. I've been on Andy Gomersall. You've had a podcast, haven't you?
Yeah, I did a podcast with Gomersall a few weeks ago. Yeah,
so I was on Gomers's benefit committee for his rugby, like as he came to the end of his career, and I saw the power of a committee. You know, we'd sit there every month and we'd organise these dinners and these events. And with rugby and benefit years, it's very simple. It's just events. But I thought, you know what? I'll get the power of committee and get my script out there. It was a little sort of moment that actually was slightly inspired. I'll give myself that. And I emailed 22 of my mates, not all of them that close, probably half and half, people who owed me favours, people I knew in the city, people who I knew were good networkers. And we met every month. And we called it the 1 Square Mile Committee. And for 18 months, we met every month. And when someone says to you, "Oh yeah, I know Guy Ritchie," I'm like, "Oh, okay, really? Right, we're going to minute that."
Yeah.
And you're going to get chased on it in the room full of these people. Now, these people were giving up their time for me for nothing. But I was on them. I took the business sort of mindset into the creative world. And I got laughed at, you know, in meetings in Soho House for taking minutes. They thought, "Who the fuck is this guy?" But in answer to your question, so one of the guys, a guy called Andy Robinson, who was used to be a mortgage advisor, and then he had a fund. He didn't get me any investment, but what he did say in one of the meetings, he goes, "I did Ros Hubbard's mortgage," and Ros Hubbard's a well-known casting agent with a full casting family. "I'll get you to meet her." And we met her, and she loved it. And Idris was floating about. He just started his new production company. This was like 2000 and late 12, early 13. He picked it up, the script, read it, liked it, wanted to get involved in producing, and said to Ros, "Can I meet him?" And then we both met. I'd met him once before in LA, but we both, you know, he's a little bit older, like 18 months older than me, but we got on straight away. And he said, "I'll produce the film for you." And then eventually, through the committee, I got a load of investment, and this guy came along. He actually didn't. He was 10 days on the set, sat in the chair, and he still didn't show us his money. But we'll come on to that if we get time. So anyway, we got Idris, and we sat at dinner one night in Alfred's, and the wolf, we called him, this investor, or it wasn't in the end, said to Idris, "I'll put the 2 million in." We'd raised $1 million. "I'll put 2 million in if you're in the film." And I'm sat there like dying at the end of the table because he's become my mate by this time, and he's producing it, and that was enough. Anyway, he looked at me and I'm like, "Nothing to do with me, mate." And he goes, "Okay, I'll do it." And then he did it. And then he brought Gemma Arterton in. And then Ros's son, Dan, cast it. And he's good at, some of the sort of day players and the sort of lesser roles. And he managed to get an amazing cast. And that was it.
To do what we want to do.
Muhammad Ali and Sonny Barger, the president of Hell's Angels.
This is 1095.